Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com and welcome back to another EVG Uncensored. This video was inspired by a really wonderful blog post that I read today, and I am so thrilled to share this with you because it deeply resonated with me and I think it's going to resonate with a lot of you. So, I actually came across this because this blog post mentioned EcoVeganGal and I was very flattered to see that, especially when you see the content here. So I'm going to share the screen. This is from a site called My Cat Loves Daya, which is such a great name for a site. And it's all, I haven't had a chance to look through too much of the site, but it is featuring a cat named Dylan, who I guess loves Daya cheese. I want to explore the site a little bit more, but before I get into that, speaking of cats, I've got a very cute kitten right here. I'm cat sitting, and this little guy is so sweet, and he wants to explore everything. Okay, I want to read this to you, so I'm going to keep it up on the screen so that you can see it too, and me at the same time. It's called The Shame of Happiness, and I took some notes. You can read the entire post. I'm going to breeze through it, and I just edited it down, but generally this writing is so wonderful, and I think that it is something that we can all relate to in so many different ways. Just like how when you quit smoking, your taste buds and sense of smell really come alive, I've noticed that when you are taking the steps towards happiness and inner health, you really become more sensitive to toxic people. I've noticed when I'm at work, people are chit-chatting about what's going on, and when I mention a particular workout or how good I feel, or forbid anything vegan related to that, the looks on people's faces is either total boredom or I wish you would just shut up, or sometimes a combo. Which is really okay if you're not into what I'm into, but my problem is that I have to listen to them gossip and complain. I have not come up with how to be surrounded by negativity and not absorb it. Even if I manage not to be a participant in the negativity, I still have to hear it. So I usually go home feeling defeated, depressed, and probably a little toxic myself. It is so sad that people aren't content to stew in their own funk. They want to funk everyone else too. Funk everyone else up to is probably what that means. I have made a promise to myself that even if I get temporarily pulled down, it is only for a short while, and I actively work in pulling myself back up. This is usually where YouTube comes in, or sometimes it's reading a couple of my favorite vegan blogs, anything to remind me that I'm not alone, and I don't have to sink to the dark side yet again. That I can and should keep doing what I'm doing because I feel great and feel like I'm actively participating in my life and my health, and it feels so great. If this were me 2 years ago, I would probably be nursing a hangover and on my 5th cigarette of the day. Even a year ago, I wouldn't be dealing with the hangover. I probably would have been on my 8th cigarette of the day. And although I've been vegan for 5 years now, I haven't always paid much attention to what my body needs. I truly want to be kind to myself and the earth, and of course animals, and I want to help and encourage others. I can't stress it enough that you have to be kind to yourself first. I swear I'm not trying to say that all of the toxic people need to go to Toxic Island. I love that part. But what I have truly learned from my experiences is now that I am not engaging in toxic behavior, it is so much easier for me to bounce back. It is a very noticeable improvement. I now have ambition and strength to find ways to change my life instead of feeling hopeless, so I'm just going to go drink, smoke, and complain the night away. If I can make this change, I really know that anyone can. I believe if people were happier, the world would be a kinder place for everyone. We would care about the health and welfare of everyone, people, animals, plants, the earth, space, water, etc. If you're really stuck in a toxic place and you want out, it really has to start with taking the best care of yourself as possible. That gives you the strength to fight off as much negativity as possible, keep your sanity, and put your energy into finding ways to get more vibes in your life. In closing, if you feel alone, I cannot recommend YouTube enough. YouTube friends are better than no friends. YouTube is the new and cheaper therapy. What a great post there, and not just because she's talking about YouTube, but I really think that this is something so many people go through. I hear this so much, And negativity is something that can be so overwhelming. In fact, I think the reason this resonated with me is because it's something that I've been thinking a lot about this week. In fact, I've been thinking about making my newsletter about this topic. I've been thinking about making more videos, and I really want to thank the author of this and this blogger that wrote this post for writing this, because it's given me an opportunity to talk about it even though I couldn't find the words. So I'm really on the same page with you. And I think another thing I want to bring up actually is that someone said to me today when I expressed that I was having a challenging week, she said, "You would never tell from the outside." And another person that I talked to when we were having a conversation about various challenges and confidence and all of that, she said, it's really important to remember that just because somebody seems confident now doesn't mean that they've always had that confidence and that positivity. So I really want to remind all of you watching that what we see on the outside and what we experience of other people isn't always what's really the full picture of them and what's going on. And there's two sides of this coin. One is that just because someone like me seems happier and put together and you come to me for inspiration, many of you have witnessed that I go through a lot of struggles, and that's really what this channel is all about. So I'm definitely there right with you, and it's really an honor to have somebody come to me to have their spirits lifted. But I want to let you know that I go to each of you for various reasons to lift my spirits. So it's a back and forth, and that's one of the beauties of being online. Secondly, I think it's important to see this about negative people as well. One thing that has really helped me is that when people are negative, of course, it's important to take a step back and try not to take things personally, even if people are trying to attack you or dig at you because they're feeling bad about themselves. I think it's also important to have compassion for them and realize that whatever they're going through, they just don't know how to deal with it yet. And you are fortunate to have the perspective that you have of being able to step back and at least examine it. Maybe you don't feel 100% all of the time, but oh, you're a crybaby. Yes, you are. At least you have kittens around sometimes. Or the blogger there has her wonderful cat, right? Maybe they just don't have cats, and that's part of the problem. But really, I think that to me helps so much, is when you just have compassion for what other people are going through and know that if they're having a rough day, you don't necessarily have to come out and be supportive of them, because many of us have found that when we try to be supportive, people don't care. As this post started off with, when you try to say, oh, working out makes me feel good and eating makes me feel good, some people just don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear the positivity. But what you can do is kind of have compassion for them internally and quietly and energetically. That puts something out there. It's an energetic feeling, and other people can sense that. Even if they're not entirely sensitive to it, there's still a vibe to it, right? When you're in a room and you're surrounded by happy people, everyone's smiling and having a good time and being nice to each other, it feels amazing. But have you ever been in a room where everyone's in a bad mood or a couple people don't like each other? There's tension. That's energy. And actually, of course, this writer has been in that situation too. She says, when she's in the room, it's hard for her to navigate it because the negative energy is so strong. But instead of fighting fire with fire, we are responsible for ourselves, and not only putting out energy for other people to absorb, but that energy for us, and just infusing our body with that positivity. And it's a learning process. It can take a while. It is very challenging to stay positive and happy when people seem negative and unhappy. But to me, that is one of the biggest keys to life, is finding a way to make that happen, is finding a way to stay within yourself and hold on to your values and all of these amazing things that you're working on, and congratulate yourself. This writer has also talked about how in the past she would have reverted to cigarettes or drinking, right? And that's what a lot of people do. That's another thing that I try to have compassion for. When I see a lot of people going through those habits, it's usually an emotional thing. Even eating can be so emotional. So much is ruled by our emotional state. And I think that the more we can work on ourselves the better example we set for others, and the more that we can stay at peace. Because ultimately it all comes down to us. And not only as we set examples for other people, but we have to just maintain that inner sanctuary, right? And do that in every way we can. And I think by writing blogs like you have today, being part of communities, using YouTube, the interesting thing is that YouTube can be really, really negative. So I always have to balance it, and I have to pick and choose what comments I read. I have to pick and choose, what websites, which channels or what videos and all of that. YouTube can be a dangerous negativity place as well. And it's definitely challenging as a YouTuber. Part of one of my bad days this week was just some YouTube comments that can feel really harsh sometimes. But the way I manage it is just to focus on myself and give myself that whatever I need, that attention that I need at that time, and take care. And now I feel so much better. And actually, you know why I feel really good right now? Number one is this post really lifted my spirits. So thank you. Thank you so much to the blogger behind this. But also, I spent about 5 hours of my day on Skype calls. So I'll leave you with this. Since we may not have positive people in our lives, I find that that's a big issue, is that a lot of people come to YouTube because they don't have similar family and friends that think similar to them. And we can create this beautiful online family. Well, when you do meet people that you really, really love and care for and connect with, it is amazing when you can do that online. So today I had 3 different online meetings, as I do every Thursday. Usually it's just 2, but today it was 3. And all of them are with people I've met online, and we've developed our relationships over the years. And these are all business oriented. This is part of how I run my business, is I have these Skype calls with other inspiring women who are doing similar things, and we all support each other, encourage each other, share tips, share what's going on, and it is so incredible. I look forward to Thursdays now. So one thing you can do is, in addition to having those text conversations, once you start to develop great trusting relationships with people online, I encourage you to build these days where you might just want to connect online. Of course, it can be a little bit more comfortable to talk via text, but one of my conversations today was just a one-on-one with a friend/business partner, and she is in Hawaii, and yet I was looking at her across the screen through Google Hangout, and it felt exactly the same way it does when we're in person. And I was just basking in that feeling of, wow, this is so great. It took us forever to even think about, hey, we should connect online more often. Every time I connect with my friends / entrepreneurial support system online, I walk away from those conversations feeling uplifted and just grateful and inspired, and just, it's so phenomenal. So I really encourage you to broaden your perspective of this and not worry about being shy. I know it can be a little uncomfortable, but that connection we can have when we visually see someone and we can hear their voice can be amazing. So that's available to you. That's the one drawback of YouTube, is that it's me talking to you and then people write me back. Animals are going nuts down there. I think I wish that there was a more interactive element. The closest we have to that is the Google Hangouts, which I do weekly through the main Eco Vegan Gal channel. But even that still feels like, I'm reading comments and saying them out loud. It's not the same as when someone is there interacting with you. And you can do this through Google as well. So maybe I can do that more somehow. If any of you are interested in that, maybe on this Uncensored channel, maybe we can have a weekly Google Hangout. The drawback with Google Hangouts is that you can only have up to 10 people. But there is a new site. If you see on my screen over here, up in the top corner, there's a site called Spreecast, which I recently found out about. And that allows, I think, unlimited numbers of people to join in a call. So I would love to hear in the comments if any of you are interested in connecting in that way. I know that a lot of people are hesitant because they're shy, but again, if you're looking for support, you never know. And any of you that are watching this video are so connected. You are so like-minded. You are so part of a community there that this is the place to start. So I encourage you to develop relationships with each other, just either through comments, through checking each other's profiles out. If you guys want to leave your Twitter handles, your Facebook links, or your Google Plus pages, whatever you're comfortable with, your Instagrams, leave them there and allow, or maybe we can create a private Google community. Since we're already part of Google on YouTube, we could have they call it communities on Google Plus, and it's a private group. So I could invite you guys in there and you can have conversations without the rest of the world just stumbling upon your info. So let me know what you would love in the comments. Please check out the website that I mentioned today and give her some support, mycatlovesdea.blogspot.com. So far, she has yet to receive comments, but she will soon see this video and some comments from you, I hope. And supporting each other as content creators, as bloggers, whatever you consider yourself, is such an amazing way to lift someone's spirits. I can't wait to hear about the Google Plus ideas and the conversation ideas and all of that. I would also love to hear from any of you. How do you deal with negativity? What are your top ways of handling these situations? How have you found support through people in person or online? Anything that you want to say regarding to this wonderful post right here. And I cannot wait to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching as always. For all things healthy and eco-friendly, there is ecovegangal.com. I encourage you to sign up for the newsletter. I'm experimenting with lots of different formats there, but my favorite right now is really kind of these heartfelt letters. So if you're enjoying this type of video, you'll probably enjoy my newsletter as well. And when you sign up for that, you also get my free ebook about how to make cheap, healthy meals under $2 that take under 15 minutes of time. And that's kind of a teaser up to the upcoming ebook, which I'm working on right now. Literally, I should be going to work on that at this very moment. And that's all about healthy, organic eating on a budget. And I mentioned social media. I love hearing from you on there. So please reach out to me and anybody else in the Eco Vegan Gal community. Their links are down below. Facebook is a great place. And I'm trying to cultivate a much more positive experience on Facebook, because even that can get on the negative side. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do, so that you keep in the loop when these type of videos come out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great, positive day. Bye.